Welcome to Elevate Your English.
Where confidence meets communication.
Welcome to Elevate Your English channel. Today we will talk about something that happens to almost every English learner, and nobody talks about it.
Okay, wait. Before you say it, I need to ask the listener something first. Have you ever known a word in your first language perfectly, but the moment you try to say it in English, your brain just stops?
Like someone turned off the lights.
Exactly. Total blackout. And you're standing there, smiling, nodding, while inside your head it's just silence, panic, nothing.
I want you to be honest with yourself right now. Has that happened to you this week?
Not this month, not this year, this week.
Because here's the uncomfortable truth we're going to talk about today. It's not because your English is bad.
It's because of how you're learning it. And that one difference changes everything.
So stay with us. By the end of this episode, you're going to understand exactly why this keeps happening and what to do the next time your brain goes quiet.
Okay, so let's go back to that moment, the blackout moment.
Right. And I think most people believe the problem is vocabulary. I don't know enough words. But that's usually not true.
No, honestly, most learners I talk to know way more words than they think.
The real problem is translation. Your brain is trying to think in your language first and then quickly translate it into English before you speak.
And that takes time, real time. So while you're translating in your head, the conversation is already moving forward without you.
It's like trying to run and tie your shoes at the same time.
Ha, that's actually a good way to say it. You fall behind, you get nervous, and then the nervousness makes it even harder to think.
It becomes a cycle. Translate, panic, forget, freeze.
Yeah, I remember this one time. I was at a coffee shop in London, and the barista asked me a simple question. For here or to go? And I just stood there, like I forgot English completely.
But you knew those words.
I knew every single word. That's what made it so frustrating. I wasn't thinking in English. I was translating in my head, and by the time I had the answer ready, she was already looking at me a little confused.
That's the exact moment we're talking about. And a lot of people watching this right now are nodding because they've had their own version of that coffee shop moment.
So let's talk about why this happens so often. First, most learners study English like it's math. Rules, grammar, memorizing.
Which isn't wrong, but it trains your brain to analyze the language instead of feel it.
Exactly. You're solving a puzzle instead of having a conversation.
Second struggle, fear of mistakes. A lot of learners stay quiet because they're scared of saying something wrong.
And staying quiet feels safe in the moment.
But it actually slows down progress because your brain never gets the chance to practice thinking quickly.
There's also a third one. People consume English passively, watching, listening, reading, but never producing it themselves.
It's like watching cooking videos for years and expecting to become a great cook without ever touching a pan.
Oof, that one hits close to home for me too.
For most of us, honestly.
Okay, so what actually helps? Because we don't want to just describe the problem and leave people there.
Right, so let's start with the translation habit. One thing that helped me was narrating my day in English, quietly, in my head, while I do normal things.
Like what?
Like making coffee. Instead of thinking about it in my first language, I just think, I'm pouring the water, it's hot, I need a spoon. Small, simple sentences.
That's smart, because it trains your brain to skip the translation step completely.
Exactly. You're not translating anymore. You're just thinking in English directly, even if it's simple.
I do something similar but with imaginary conversations. Like, I'll imagine explaining my day to a friend, out loud, in English, even when I'm alone.
Talking to yourself, basically.
A little embarrassing, but it works, because it removes the pressure. Nobody's judging you when you're alone in your kitchen.
And that's the real key here. Practicing without pressure builds speed. Speed is what you're missing, not knowledge.
And for the mistake fear, I'd say, mistakes are actually proof that your brain is trying. If you never make a mistake, you're probably not challenging yourself at all.
That's such an important shift. Mistakes aren't failure, they're just your brain stretching.
I like that. Your brain stretching, like a muscle.
Exactly like a muscle. It feels uncomfortable before it feels natural. Okay, so here's a small challenge for you, the listener.
Yes, I love this part.
For the next 24 hours, I want you to pick one everyday moment, maybe making tea, walking to work, or brushing your teeth, and describe it in your head, in English, using simple sentences.
No pressure to be perfect. No grammar rules. Just thoughts.
If your brain switches back to your first language, that's okay. Just gently bring it back to English.
It's a small habit, but it directly attacks that blackout moment we talked about earlier.
Try it today. Not tomorrow. Today.
All right, let's recap quickly. The blackout moment happens because of translation, not because your vocabulary is weak.
Second, fear of mistakes keeps you quiet, and quiet doesn't build speaking speed.
Third, passive learning, just watching and listening, isn't enough. You need to produce the language yourself.
And the fix? Think in simple English sentences during your normal day. Practice speaking out loud even when you're alone, and treat mistakes as a sign of progress, not failure.
Small steps, every single day.
Now let's go through today's 5 vocabulary words so you can use them naturally in real conversations.
Word number 1, freeze. This means to suddenly stop moving or thinking, usually because of fear or shock. Example, I froze when my manager asked a question in the meeting. Speaking practice question. When was the last time you froze during a conversation? Word number 2, frustrating. This means something that makes you feel annoyed or upset because you can't do what you want. Example, it's frustrating when I know the word but can't remember it in time. Speaking question. What's something frustrating about learning English for you? Word number 3, passive. This means not actively doing something, just receiving it. Example, watching movies without repeating the words is passive learning. Speaking question. Is your English practice active or passive right now? Word number 4, fluency. This means the ability to speak smoothly and naturally without stopping too much. Example, her fluency improved a lot after she started speaking every day. Speaking question, what does fluency mean to you personally? Word number 5, comfort zone. This means a situation where you feel safe and relaxed without challenge. Example, speaking only with people from my country kept me in my comfort zone. Speaking question, what's one way you can step outside your comfort zone this week? Word number 6, overwhelmed. This means a feeling like you have too much to deal with, so it becomes stressful. Example, I felt overwhelmed the first time I tried to watch an English movie without subtitles. Speaking question, what's something that makes you feel overwhelmed when learning English? Word number 7, hesitate. This means to pause before doing or saying something because you're unsure or nervous. Example, she hesitated before answering the interview question in English. Speaking question, do you hesitate before speaking English with strangers? Why? Word number 8, consistent. This means to doing something regularly in the same way over time. Example, He wasn't the smartest student, but he was consistent. He practiced every single day. Speaking question. What's one habit you've been consistent with this month? Word number 9. Awkward. This means uncomfortable, embarrassing, or not smooth in a social situation. Example. There was an awkward silence when I forgot the word for umbrella. Speaking question. Tell us about an awkward moment you had while speaking English. Word number 10. Breakthrough. This means a sudden moment of success or understanding after a long struggle. Example. The day I stopped translating in my head felt like a real breakthrough. Speaking question. Have you had a breakthrough moment in your English learning journey? What happened?
Try using at least 2 of these words today, even in a simple sentence.
So, if you froze today while listening to this, if you recognized yourself in that coffee shop story,
That's actually a good sign. It means you're paying attention to your own learning, and that's where change begins.
you don't need to fix everything today. You just need to think in English, one small moment at a time.
The blackout moment doesn't disappear overnight, but it does get shorter and quieter, until one day you barely notice it anymore.
That's the goal. Not perfect English, just natural thinking.